The entire neighborhood was buried under thick snow, and no one could get their cars out. Driveways were blocked. Streets were invisible, and frustration was everywhere. I stood there like I always did, ready to help, because every winter I cleared these roads for free. I fired up the engine and started pushing snow down the street. Huge piles moved aside as the road slowly came back to life. People waved from their windows. Some even stepped outside to thank me. This was normal until today. As I turned onto the next street, someone suddenly stepped in front of my truck. A woman in a bright red coat, furious and yelling. I slammed the brakes just in time. She pointed straight at me like I'd done something wrong. I rolled down the window and asked, "What's going on?" She didn't answer, just shoved a paper toward me. It was an HOA notice, and it had my name on it. "You've been creating unauthorized snow tracks," she snapped. I blinked, confused. I was literally clearing the road for everyone. Behind her, more HOA members started gathering. I stepped out of the truck, trying to stay calm. These aren't tracks. I'm clearing the street so people can drive. But they didn't care. One of them stepped forward with a clipboard and attitude. "You're modifying HOA property without permission," he said coldly. That's when I realized this wasn't about logic. This was about control. And they were enjoying it. I looked around at the neighbors. People who had just been grateful, now silent. No one wanted to get involved. HOA rules scared them more than the snow. I took a deep breath and then smiled. If they had a problem with what I was doing, fine. I walked back to the truck and turned the engine off. The woman frowned. "What are you doing?" I grabbed my keys and stepped away. "You don't like the tracks, right? Then there won't be any more." I left the truck right there in the middle of the street. Half the road was cleared, the rest untouched. Snow kept falling harder by the minute. Nature would handle the rest. Within hours, the road disappeared again. Tire tracks vanished under fresh snow. Cars that were already stuck stayed stuck. And now, no one could get out. By evening, frustration turned into panic. People tried to shovel their way out, but it was too much. The snow was thick, heavy, relentless, and there was no plow coming to save them. That's when the first car got completely stuck in the middle of the road. Then another. Soon, the entire street was blocked. No movement, no escape. I watched everything from my window. Warm, quiet, still. For the first time, I wasn't the one fixing their problem. And it showed. By the next morning, the entire neighborhood was completely paralyzed. No one could get their cars out, and the snow had hardened overnight. Even walking outside had become difficult. The silence was replaced with growing frustration. A man tried to drive out anyway and immediately got stuck. His tires spun helplessly, digging deeper into the snow. Others came out to help, but it only made things worse. Now the road was completely blocked. The HOA members walked around, trying to take control. But this wasn't a meeting or a rule book situation anymore. This was real life, and they had no solution. People started arguing openly. Someone suggested calling a snow removal service. Phones came out, numbers were dialed, but every company was already booked. The storm had hit the entire region. That's when someone said my name. The same guy they had fined yesterday. The same guy who had been helping for years.